All right. Hey guys, Sabrina Diaz, Emerald Ambassador. And tonight I was asked to talk about recruiting. So we're going to be going through a full series of different topics that are going to help you grow your business. But before we get started, I wanted to introduce my friend Trisha Lowen, and she is going to give us a brief description of her health story and what brought her to Plexus and what kept her in Plexus. So, Trisha, are you here, doll? Let's see. I know they were having trouble getting in.
Pick you up.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
Hello?
I hear you guys.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, I'm Trisha Luton, and this is my husband, Michael. And just so y'all know, this is the scariest thing for me to do is to talk in front of people. So if I stumble, I apologize. About 11 years ago is when I actually started Plexus for the first time. But at that time, I was having headaches and like persistent headaches for like a couple of weeks. It was really bad. And my neighbor, she said, "Here, try this pink drink. You'll need to go sign up and you'll get this drink and it'll come to you and just take it." She really didn't, she wasn't an ambassador, she was a customer. And although she knew about the product, she wasn't really telling me about it. She was like, "Take this, and if you take these other products with it, they're supposed to all work good together." But, you know, I saw the word cleanse and I was terrified. I didn't want to be stuck by a bathroom. I thought if I take this, I'm never going to leave the bathroom. And so I was drinking the pink drink. It got rid of my headaches, but I really didn't know how everything worked together. Fast forward, life happened. We had a wedding we were planning for, all kinds of things going on. My daughter was in band, so we all had no life. And I just stopped taking it. Well, then fast forward, and I started having headaches again. And I knew that someone that I knew was in Plexus and she was an ambassador. And I saw her all the time on social media, sharing everything about Plexus. And I thought, you know what? I will try just about anything at this point because the headache was constant and I was taking way more pain medication. I was alternating Tylenol and Motrin way more than I should have. I probably damaged some things doing that. But I was desperate to get rid of a headache. And I just started taking it. And then this time I was educated on how everything worked together. And I was no longer scared of BioCleanse. And it's been my anniversary is in February. You said February 10th. And it's been 4 years now. And I rarely have a headache. It's amazing. I sleep better. Focus is so much better. There's been a couple of times that I've either forgot or was on a trip and didn't take enough. And I can definitely tell when I don't have it. And that's why I stay with it because I feel much better with it than I do without it. So I have my ups and downs in my health journey, but I know that taking Plexus daily is so much better than when I don't have it. So that's my story. I did bring my husband along because he is a type 1 diabetic, and I know that it helps regulate blood sugars. And if he doesn't have a sweet tooth, he is pretty regular with his blood sugar. So it definitely helps him too. So yeah, that's it. That's my story.
Wow, Trisha, thank you so much. And honestly, just sitting there saying how nervous you were, which I knew how nervous she was, you did amazing. So I hope you are extremely proud of yourself. And this is just the beginning. I love your story. And I really wanted Trisha to share her story tonight because this is a true testament that somebody was on the products, had stopped the products, rethought about the products, rejoined, and is now a business builder. This is the pattern that I wanted you to see to start off this call, because so many times we think, oh, they stopped, they're old news, they're never coming back, they're not interested. Um, but yet there's so many different reasons that they're not on it. It could just be timing, it could be finances, it could just they were scared, they didn't understand. It all comes back to us being there for our customers and asking the questions. So I have my notes all over the place, but I'm going to try to stay streamlined because tonight is really important to me. We're talking about recruiting and all things cold and warm market. So, with that, we are going to start with warm market because that's the easy one. Easy, it feels good. These are our family, friends, coworkers, church people, neighbors. Who has said, and I want you to write this in the chat because we are interacting tonight. Who has said, I have nobody left to talk to? Maybe put a one in there, or me. Yeah, I like the me's. Okay. All right, we got a bunch coming in here. I have said that so many times. These are lies, my friends. These are lies, and I'm gonna debunk these tonight. And why? Why do we have that warm market, and why does it feel easy? It's because they already trust you. You already have a dialogue with them. You already know them. You probably know their character. You've been in several conversations. So it doesn't feel weird to have these conversations. It doesn't feel weird to, reach out and say, hey, how was your Christmas? Would you like to meet up for dinner? I kind of miss my friends. I need to get out more. It doesn't feel strange. It doesn't feel weird. But people miss the part of reconnecting. So when you have your warm market, we are so fixated that I have sent them an event. I have sent them a message. They didn't write me back. They must not be interested. This is where most people fall. Because if somebody didn't reach back out to Trisha, even though she was on the products already, Trisha would never be here again. So, how do we do that? Timing changes everything. I know my story changed. I was not ready. When Tova started reaching out to me, I was not ready at all. I didn't even answer her. I would avoid the conversation. And it wasn't because I didn't like her or I thought she was annoying or she just kept messing. It was simply because I was terrified of the situation that I was in that moment. I couldn't fathom in my head taking another capsule to feel better because I was already taking so many capsules and I felt awful. Okay. So she kept posting, and sure enough, I kept watching what she was saying. That is the beauty of our social media, guys. Okay. That is the beauty of constantly putting out there. We aren't doing a sales pitch every single day. We are not trying to sell a used car every time we get onto social media. We are sharing what we know. And when the timing is right, it's going to hit the right person. So, with that being said, Tova shared a post about anxiety. She has never had anxiety before, but somebody in her post had, and she thought, you know what? This could speak to somebody. And sure as heck, 365 days later, it's the one that made a light bulb go off in my head. And I watched her more in depth. I was really listening to what she had to say now. But that time she reached out to me after that post, I was in. I was ready to sign up. I was still scared, but I trusted her because I felt like she understood my situation and I was ready to get this under control. So that is why warm market seems to be the easiest. But if we aren't doing the reconnecting, if we aren't catching back up, if we aren't asking questions about them, people love when you're curious. See what they're doing. How are they feeling? That is when is your opportunity, guys, to share your story naturally. We're not sharing a sales pitch here. So Tova shared a story that sat within my heart. She didn't tell me, hey, listen, for $9.99, you can join this, get this for free. It didn't matter at that point how much I was going to pay. What mattered to me is my friend shared a story of hope that was going to change my life. And I was in, I was sold, but it was the timing. Okay. So what builds that warm market and what builds that trust? Confidence and posture. If she buckled under the pressure and looked me in my face and said, you know what? I've never had an anxiety attack before. I just saw this story. It felt good. I put it out there. I would have been like, wow, like how could she help? But she didn't. She stood behind the story. She stood there with confidence. She stood there with posture and said, this will help you. Follow me. I will guide you. Okay. So that is why warm markets. But I'm going to take the flip side tonight and we're going to talk about cold markets and how we can get into momentum through strangers who we don't even know. All right. Follow me because this is what I love to do. I love to get out and talk to people. I love sharing Plexus with people. It's one of my superpowers. It's something I love to do. I will bring it up in every single situation. And never once have I had anybody say to me, wow, that felt awful. That felt heavy. That felt like it wasn't flowing or natural. It all makes sense if we do it correctly. So I'm going to teach you how I go ahead and do that. So when we talk about cold markets, guys, we're talking about strangers. We're not talking about people we know or might know or maybe talk to. No, these are strangers. All right. You need to get as many strangers in your corner and start talking to them. That is how your funnel continuously grows. So all of these me's that we have over here in the chat, I never want to see that again because everybody has the exact same opportunity to keep growing their funnel. And we are never going to hit everybody we know because the internet is endless. All right. So where do we find these people? Moving along. All right. When you're on social media, you can find them in so many different groups. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the groups and what to do and what not to do in these groups. All right. So there's Facebook groups. And I'm talking about hobby groups. I'm talking about sourdough groups. I'm talking about military spouse groups. It could be a cat mom group. I don't care what it is. If you're in there and you're a Plexus ambassador, there's going to be somebody else in there that's going to be interested. Okay. There is no group that is not right for this except one. And I'm going to tell you which one that is so you can stay away. So I want you to put it in the chat. What is a Facebook group that you are in right now that simply makes you happy? Let's go. Organizing. Yes, I love them. Dogs. Let's go. I know there's tons. Crazy orange cat moms. I love it. Chickens. Heck yes. Books, boy moms, grandmas, backyard chickens. This is what we want. Okay. This is the flow that we're looking for. These are our people. These are the people we're looking to attract. The one type of group I'm going to tell you to stay away from, and Lord, please stay away from them, is network marketing groups. Why do you think that? Why would you stay away from network marketing groups on Facebook? Any ideas? Let's write in the chat. Cross recruit. Yes, Summer. You took the words right out of my mouth. Everybody is selling something. You are no longer seen as a friend. You are seen as a target in that group. We are all trying to recruit each other. That is not where we want to go. Okay? That is not a learning experience. We want to be in the groups where we can connect with other individuals just like us. Okay? There's going to be successful, high-powered men and women in a chicken group. They're going to be in a recipe group. In those groups, I'm going to tell you how to communicate. Has anybody ever been kicked out of a group before? Come on. I know we have. Put a 1 in a group, or 1 in the comments if you've been kicked out of a group. It's the walk of shame. I know. It's okay. It's okay. We're all learning here. We're all learning. Hermit crab group. All right. I love it. I love it. Okay. So why did we get kicked out of that group? We cannot go into a group and immediately start puking plexus. Dropping a link, sharing a product. That's not what we're there for. What I want to see you doing is communicating and interacting with the group, asking questions. Drop your favorite recipe. What are your chickens doing that day? Who knows? What is your hermit crab doing that day? I want you to get into that group and ask the questions or get into the comments, because that's where the gold is. The gold is in the comments. That's where you're going to start interacting with people. That's where you can start friending people without it seeming weird or getting flagged by the group. That is where you are going to make the connections, invite them, friend request them, invite them to see your page, and a natural conversation is going to develop after this point. So I'm going to say this one more time. Do not go into a group and put up, I have the best probiotic. Who wants it? It's going to get you kicked out in a matter of seconds. Now, if you went in there and said, man, my skin is doing amazing, I've been feeling so good, that is a conversation that we want to have. Ask people, who else has clear skin? Who else has suffered with acne? That is where the people are going to come in and start talking, and that's where the connections are going to come in. All right. So with that being said, I want you to share things. I want you to get out. My biggest thing, though, is I am going to challenge each and every one of you today to not only sit behind the computer. This is a very, very big part of my business, and I didn't get to Emerald sitting behind a computer. Now, some people can, and don't get me wrong. If you can, I think that's fantastic. Keep going. It's definitely a resource for me. It's definitely a dabbling for me. But I find my people out and about. I will find people to talk to at a Bible study, on the sidelines, that my kids are playing sports. That's where I'm going to find them. Just in church, at the library. I like going to the library. I love the smell of the library. I think it's peaceful. I think it's relaxing. Come at me. It's totally fine. I love going to the library, and I don't know, my people are there. You will find your people anywhere, but try not to only stay within that bubble. I want you to expand. If you're in TJ Maxx, somebody in there, again, if I want you to think this, Wherever you are, you could be at Chick-fil-A, okay? I don't want you to have a closed mindset that there's nobody at Chick-fil-A that wants these products. If you are there and you are on the products, there is going to be somebody else in that same situation that's going to want these products. Do not hold back from sharing your story, okay? Not your product, your story. Somebody is going to be there that wants to learn more, and you're going to be able to bless another individual, okay? So with that being said, I want to pull up my notes because I have action steps that I wanted to ask you guys to do. So everybody have their pen and paper. All right, so call to action. We're going to join 3 Facebook groups today. I'm going to teach you how to find a full new funnel with cold markets. 3 new groups. It could be anything except network marketing groups. Don't do it. I want you to start 3. You see this? 3, the power of 3. That's how we go down. We're starting with 3, guys. If you were at Super Saturday, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Which you should have been there. But I want you to start 3 genuine conversations in these groups. Out of those comments, I want you to add 5 new friends. So make it a good question, guys. I don't care if you have to ask GPT. I need something to make me sound fun to put in a group to attract other people like me. Ask the questions, okay? Put that in there, and then I want you to friend 5 new people. I want you to reach back out to 3 warm market contacts that you've been avoiding. So now we have the cold and we have the warm. See what we're doing here? We're interlacing the 2 different groups because it's not actually 2 groups, guys. Both sides are going to create momentum. Bring them together. Okay? It's not just cold markets going to attract momentum, warm markets, they're both. We got to work both of them. And then last but not least, I want you to post one thing of value in your story, in your stories and on your personal page. It could be a recipe, a parenting tip, a wellness hack, military life moment, something that adds value to somebody else. Okay, so that's 5 steps right there. You do that consistently every single day. Watch your business explode. Because I didn't tell you anything today that you didn't already know. It might have just hit a little bit different. So take your business into your hands today. Create the market and the funnel that you want for your business and go after it. Because if somebody else did it, so can you. All right, friends. Thank you so much for jumping on. And I hope you have tons of momentum coming forward. Have a good night.